Level 1, Sarbaz. You are 18 years old. The conscription notice arrives the morning after your birthday. The bus door closes, tearing away your civilian freedom. You leave behind your long hair and university dreams behind the barbed wire of a desert training camp. Here, the past matters less than your serial number. No one asks who you are. They only measure how much sand your lungs can take while marching under the midday sun. Without this completion certificate, you have no passport, no job, no future. You are in a flooded trench on the Khuzestan border. You have a rusty AK-47, oversized boots, and a cold metal dog tag touching your chest. You have no right to ask questions. Everything is operated by a piercing whistle at 4:30 a.m. and the smell of gun oil mixed into dry bread rations. The only light comes from tracer rounds streaking across the night sky. Here, presence is more important than courage. You are not judged by the number of enemies you kill. You are judged by your absolute silence while standing guard in 40 degrees Celsius heat. No one talks about death, but everyone knows how to tuck a suicide note into their left breast pocket before every night shift. 3:12 a.m., a strange noise comes from the barbed wire in the buffer zone. The squad leader glances at you, his finger pointing toward the darkness, signaling you to check it alone. No backup. Everyone watches from behind sandbags. Know you have 5 seconds to step out of the bunker or face a court-martial for desertion. You realize your life does not belong to you. It belongs to a number on an operational map belonging to people who have never met you. From that day on, you no longer see humans on the other side of the line. You begin to see targets that must be neutralized in exchange for one more day of survival. 6 months later, your name is not on the casualty list. You survived the border dust season. Your name is called during the morning roll call at headquarters. Level 2, Sarjuka. You are 20 years old. You are in a reinforced concrete forward base, one step higher than a trench, but still within mortar range. You have a static-filled radio, a Sig Sauer, and command over 5 fresh recruits. You have no leisure. Everything is operated by a dense shift schedule and handwritten casualty reports every night under an oil lamp. Here, the obedience of subordinates is more important than your own safety. You are not judged by your personal marksmanship. You are judged by your ability to keep those 5 heads from being blown off during a shift. No one talks about friendship between ranks, but everyone understands. If your soldiers mess up, you are the first to be disciplined. 2:15 a.m., an 18-year-old recruit falls asleep on guard duty, letting a dark shadow slip through the electronic fence. The siren pierces the air. The commanding officer steps out, his cold eyes fixed on you. You have 30 seconds to decide. Report the recruit's negligence to protect your rank, or take responsibility for poor management and face detention. You realize that at this level, compassion is the enemy of discipline. From that day on, you no longer look at your soldiers as brothers. You begin to see them as links in a chain. The weak link must be removed so the system does not collapse. You begin to learn how to shout and use fear to maintain life. 8 months later, your unit meets its regional security quota. No more shadows slip through. Your name appears on the list for professional officer promotion. Level 3, Ostavar. You are 23 years old. You are in a fortified logistics warehouse at regional command. You have a crisper uniform, an inventory list, and control over the flow of supplies from the rear to the front. You no longer have the innocence of a gunman. Everything is operated by invoice numbers, the heavy stench of machine oil, and the scratching of pens on settlement reports. Here, seniority and resourcefulness are more important than academic degrees. You are not judged by your bravery outside the bunker. You are judged by your ability to transform the armory so that it always appears fully stocked on paper, despite actual shortages due to high-level corruption. No one talks about the crates smuggled to the black market, but everyone knows how to stay silent to receive their generous cut. 10:45 a.m., a surprise inspection team from Tehran arrives. The anti-tank missile stock is 10 units short because of an illegal temporary loan by a field-grade officer last week. You have 60 seconds to decide. Sign the error report to push all responsibility onto your superior and face retaliation later, or stage a small warehouse fire to erase all risky evidence. You realize the system does not run on honesty, that it runs on mutual cover-ups. From that day on, you no longer believe in clean ledger reports. You begin to learn how to spot the loopholes in the process to survive between factions. You understand that keeping the secrets of the strong is the only way for the weak to rise. 1 year later, Your books are approved without a single flaw. Your name is nominated for the Command Officer Training Academy. Level 4, Sarvan. You are 27 years old. You are in a company command base, standing on the line between political decisions and the blood of soldiers. You have a detailed operational map, an encrypted satellite phone, and the power of life and death over 150 men. You no longer have the cover of technical NCOs. Everything is operated by march orders from the colonels and fire reports requiring precision to the square meter. Here, the trust of subordinates is more important than medals. You are not judged by flight hours or successful drills. You are judged by your ability to lead men to their deaths while they still believe it is the path to heaven. No one talks about the pointlessness of skirmishes on the border, but everyone knows every meter of land gained is a rung on the career ladder for those sitting in air-conditioned rooms. 2:13 a.m., a martyrdom mission order arrives from the brigade to act as a decoy for a main assault. You know for certain 80% of the company will not return, unless you have 300 seconds to decide. Execute the order to earn a rapid promotion, or find technical excuses to delay and save the lives of the soldiers who call you Big Brother. You realize that at this level, every signature you make is a death warrant. From that day on, you no longer see boyish faces during inspections. You begin to see them as expendable resources on a spreadsheet. You learn to maintain emotional distance to keep from going mad from the ghosts every night. 12 months later, the campaign ends with losses within acceptable limits. Your name is honored in the report sent to Tehran. Level 5, Sarhang. You are 38 years old. You are in a fortified brigade command base, surrounded by anti-missile concrete walls and constant sweep radar arrays. You have a private office with standing guards, the power to deploy thousands of troops, and heavy fire complexes. You no longer directly inhale gun smoke. Everything is operated by dry operational reports, team high-level security meetings, and quota pressure from the Supreme Council in Tehran. Here, achievement on reports is more important than truth on the battlefield. You are not judged by the soldiers you save. You are judged by your ability to maintain stability in your sector on the digital map. No one talks about the catastrophic failures of subordinates, but everyone knows a meticulously polished false report can save a crumbling political career. 11:05 p.m. You discover a high-level spy ring within your own staff. The leader is the son of a general who holds the power to promote you. You have 120 seconds to decide. Expose the truth to protect national security, but slam your own career door shut, or silence the evidence and turn it into a training accident to gain favor with your superior. You realize that at this level, personal loyalty is more important than national ideals. From that day on, you no longer see the faces of the soldiers below. You begin to see them as chess pieces to trade for the safety of your own seat. You learn to cover the cracks in the system with glamorous lies. 2 years later, your brigade is honored as a model unit. Your name appears on the list for promotion to general. Level 6, Sartip. You are 48 years old. You are in a fortified underground command complex in Tehran, where 2-meter-thick walls can withstand a near-hit nuclear blast. You have a team of strategic advisors, command over an entire corps, gain and the activation codes for long-range ballistic missile batteries. You no longer touch weapons. Everything is operated by satellite signals, codes dancing on radar screens, and direct phone calls from the Ministry of Defense. Here, discretion and political loyalty are more important than military talent. You are not judged by glorious victories on the front. You are judged by your ability to keep your corps from becoming a threat to the regime's survival. Then no one talks about the coup plots always simmering in the shadows, but everyone knows every step you take is being monitored by internal intelligence agencies. 10:15 p.m., intelligence reports an enemy nation is preparing an assassination via suicide drone unless you order a withdrawal from a disputed zone. Simultaneously, your superior orders you to hold the position at all costs to serve as leverage for an upcoming nuclear deal. You have 60 seconds to decide. Become the scapegoat for a larger geopolitical game, or secretly order a retreat to save your life and face treason charges. You realize that at this level, you are no longer a human, you are a target. From that day on, you trust no one, not even your closest guards. You learn to sleep with one eye open and a loaded gun under your pillow. You understand that the pinnacle of power is absolute solitude. 3 years later, You survive 2 failed assassination attempts. Your name is praised within the Supreme Council. Level 7, Sarlashkar. You are 58 years old. You are in a gilded mansion in North Tehran, where every step is escorted by the most elite special forces. You have a seat on the Supreme Council, command over all military branches, and the nation's tactical nuclear codes. You no longer see the battlefield. Everything is operated by global geopolitical reports, oil flows, wind and secret negotiations with world powers. Here, the survival of the regime is more important than the fate of the nation. You are not judged by battles won or lost. You are judged by your ability to maintain the fragile balance between internal power factions and external sanction pressures. No one talks about the sacrifices of tens of thousands of soldiers, but everyone understands. If you fall, the entire system shakes and collapses with you. 1:45 a.m. An assassination attempt on the supreme leader has just failed, and evidence points to the mastermind being your most loyal subordinate, the man who has protected you for 20 years. You have 30 seconds to decide. Publicly defend your subordinate to keep your personal honor, but face death for treason, or personally sign his execution order immediately to prove absolute loyalty to the system. You realize that at this peak, you are no longer a human, you are a symbol. From that day on, you no longer feel pain or regret. You begin to see the world as a giant chessboard where every piece can be sacrificed to keep the king from being checkmated. You understand that true power is the ability to erase a name without blinking. 5 years later, an unmanned drone tears through the sky above your car.
A few moments later.
A grand state funeral is held immediately after. Your name vanishes. The system continues.